Thanks, Brett. I've got 10 minutes, so it's about £100 million a slide, because I've got 10 slides for 10 minutes. It's not going to do it justice, but that's why we've got all the teams with us today from the Swansea City Deal to get under the skin, look at where we are in terms of status, in terms of progress, opportunities for you to engage with the Swansea City Deal. So I'm the Portfolio Director, I'm Jon Burnes. And before I start going into the project details, there's probably 5 things that I'd like to cover off that every single project that we have in common, and probably a lot of what Nick has already covered, they have the same commonality as well. So first of all, they all help regenerate and positively impact on our regional economy, so that's great. They all work in high growth areas. This is by design, not by accident, so it aligns to our regional priorities, so that's great. They provide opportunities for people and businesses around skills development and job opportunities. They all require collaboration, and that collaboration is what we call the triple helix. It's government bodies, the public sector, it's education and private sector, so they all entail those. And finally, they're going to make a difference to all of us in this room and future generations to come. So that is important because we have a kind of catalyst effect of the City Deal and other initiatives across the region, and we want to make sure that we capitalise and build that track record that we already have under our belt and progress that further. So every single thing that you will see and talk about today will have those 5 things in common. You're not going to see at the back these slides, but as Brett said, they will be shared with you. But I guess the overview of the Swansea City Deal, the first thing is that it's a collaboration of 8 strategic partners. There's 4 local authorities, 2 health boards, 2 universities, but also a whole plethora of private sector businesses that make up the City Deal. It's an investment. It's a £1.3 billion headline initiative, covering 9 headline projects and programmes that I'll talk about in a few seconds. But they will create at least 9,000 jobs in their delivery. And also the economic impact, we are estimating up to about a £2.4 billion economic impact up to 2033 as a consequence of building infrastructure, creating skills and job opportunities. It's funded partly by the UK government and Welsh government. That's the City Deal element of the funding, but then the rest of it is made up through public sector, as I said, the partners involved, and also then around half of it is by the private sector. So this only works if all of those entities come together. And finally, as I said in my opening sort of 5 headlines, it's about catalysing the economy. But we've gone through a lot in recent years for the economy, but it's making sure that the recovery and the acceleration happens as swiftly as we can for our region. So there's 3 themes to Swansea City Deal. They're colour-coded on a map, and they're also on the screen there. But what they do is basically economic acceleration, life sciences well-being, and energy and smart manufacturing. So those bases, those themes, those buckets, everything that we have fits in within those. And what we will do is create infrastructure, so we'll create space. That could be for R&D, innovation, teaching, learning, just collaboration space. But in addition, we'll have digital infrastructure to help support and enable skills opportunities. There'll be collaborations to attract funding and catalyse further investment. But all of that comes together as a package, if you like, for what we're doing across the portfolio. So across those 3 themes, this is a map of South West Wales for those at the back. So we have 9 head-on projects and programmes, all colour-coded within the 3 themes. If I start with the 3 regional projects, so we have Skills and Talent Programme, which I've got a slide on for a little bit later. You've got homes as power stations, and as Nick just indicated, that's led by Nick Talbot. But that will effectively create energy-efficient homes. There's over 10,000 as a target. And then the final one, which is a regional project, is digital infrastructure. So those are across the 4 localities across South West Wales. In addition to that, we have 6 what I call place-based initiatives, but they will have regional and national impact. So if I start from the west, I'll try not to look at the screen, but if I start from the west, we've got Pembroke Dock Marine, and again, all of our projects are up there to talk to. But Pembroke Dock Marine, as Nick indicated, is around floating offshore wind. It's also about industry, university collaborations. It's about creating the environment, the infrastructure, and the laydown space, the hangar annexes, the slipway, all of those things that will create that environment to help support renewable technologies down in Milford Haven. So then we've got Eregin, which is around the creative sector. It's based down in Carmarthen, led by University of Wales Trinity St David's, S4C and the anchor tenant, and there's about 20 odd companies based in that one building. But it's a supply chain around the creative sector that creates, and the linkages to the students within the university as well. So again, if you haven't been there, that's been in operation for 5 years. It's worth going down and having a look. There's a nice cafe if you want to get coffee. Keeping on going east, we've got Pentre Owl. Pentre Owl is led by Carmarthenshire Council, based in Delta Lakes in Llanelli. It's a hub environment where there's all stuff with leisure facilities, both wet and dry. There's stuff around residential, hotel, business incubation, training facilities, and it's all co-located in one campus-based approach. So Zone 1 will be up and running, open by October, which will house businesses, leisure facilities, and students as well from local universities. Sticking with that theme, so we've got then Campuses Project. This is about sports tech and med tech, based in Swansea, both Singleton and Morriston, linking with the health board, the university, local authority, but lots of sporting organisations as well. So this will create, again, facilities, the environment, collaborations around sports tech and med tech. Then we go a little bit further towards Swansea City Centre, and that's for Waterfront City Centre District project, and that includes things like, if you've driven into the city centre in the last couple of years, you've seen the arena, hopefully you've been there, seen a show or a presentation or an event, but that has been in operation now for just over 2 years. That's one of our anchor projects within that. A little bit further out towards the north of the city is the Kingsway Centre, so 7172 Kingsway. That's an office complex, basically, looking for tenants to house themselves in that environment. And then there's two elements which are led by University of Wales Trinity St David again, and that is the Innovation Precinct and Matrix. So those are looking at, again, industry and university collaborations, looking at spin-outs, startups, and also growth of businesses, but linking in with the academic setting that Trinity provide. I don't think I've missed any apart from support innovation, low carbon growth. Nick has covered that. It's an interlinked programme of projects all around decarbonisation. The Bay Technology Centre is open for business. That's going really well, but there's lots of things around manufacturing, vehicle charging infrastructure, air quality monitoring, a skills centre for decarbonisation, etc. So that is, in effect, what City Deal is by location across the region. Everybody always asks two questions. This is the first one. What's the progress that we've made? City Deal has been in existence, if you like, from signing it from 2017. But there's 36 components in the City Deal. A lot of people only see the 9 kind of headline projects and programs, but there's 36 things within it. So 3 are complete. That's £130 million of investment. 19 of those components, they're all in what we call delivery. So they are effectively being built or delivered. That is around 438 million. And then the rest of it, the 14 now, the 36 initiatives, are in what we call pre-delivery commencement activity. So it could be gearing up towards the procurement. So we've still got a long way to go, but we've achieved a lot. And I'll run through the pipeline of stuff in a couple of slides. This is the second question I always get asked, is what have we achieved as a consequence of the City Deal? So the benefits to date are, we've invested over 271 million of money in the region. So that's probably about a fifth of the investment. We've created direct jobs as 550 FTEs of direct jobs. We know that number is a lot higher, but we have to do evaluations around the impact of what we're doing. So that number will ramp up within the next year or so. We've created a lot of apprenticeship opportunities. There's already 100 which have been created. Training weeks through construction, that number's 9,200. We've got over 10,000 training weeks already secured. In terms of floor space, we've got over 50,000 square metres of floor space, which is now occupied or available to be occupied. And that is going to grow in the next 12 months again. Homes as power stations, they've got a lovely big banner. You can't miss them. They're just at the back there. They've already created over 200 homes with the renewable technologies in them in 22-23, and they've leveraged around 42 billion of investment as a consequence of that. And my last point will lead me on to my favourite slide of the presentation, and that is about the contracts that we award as part of the supply chain. So this is a logo wall of the Swansea City Deal. It's starting to get a little bit cramped, but appreciate from the back, that is most of the companies that we work with. There's a lot more that are coming through the pipeline, but these are about local supply chain, providing opportunities and business for people to fill order books. And for us, that's the most important thing. So to give an example, Pembroke Dock Marine, there's 3 primary contractors down there. They provided around £9 million of local supply of materials, labour, machinery, all that sort of stuff to the Pembroke Dock infrastructure part of the project. So that's £9 million of money that was spent locally and regionally for businesses down Pembroke. So that is fantastic. And again, all of the projects that we have will have a similar story to tell when we start building that picture up. Skills and Talent Programme, the reason I picked this one above all others to just provide a slide is because it probably will relate to every single person in this room, and it's one of the major enablers of what City Deal is about. It's all great and well having a building, but that's not the point of City Deal. It's about what goes in those buildings, the activity, the people, and again, the evolution of what they're doing. So what we have with the Skills and Talent Programme, it's a regional-based project, as I said earlier on, but we will provide skilled opportunities which amount to around 2,200, and 14,000 people will be in receipt of those opportunities. We'll create over 3,000 apprenticeship opportunities as a consequence of it, and centres of excellence. One of them has already been born, if you like, as a physical building within Support Innovation Low Carbon Growth, but it can be a physical thing or it can be a virtual, but centres of excellence around the high growth areas. So we'll create these pathways from school to colleges, all the way to university and into businesses, and we will do that in the sectors that are aligned to the City Deal. So we have a number of those. These can adapt and move as things evolve, but currently we have digital, construction, energy, smart manufacturing, and life sciences and wellbeing as our primary focus. Those are the 5 areas of focus. So again, we have lots of things like pilot projects. We're starting to look at curriculum development and that sort of stuff through this Skills and Talent Programme. But the most important thing with Skills and Talent is about, if we needed more welders, it's not about putting more courses on to provide more welders, it's about the gaps, it's about the future need for businesses. And for our region, we are in a primary front seat to drive our economy into things like renewable technologies and energy sources. So those sort of things, and manufacturing, as Nick said, is one of the priorities across all 4 localities in the region. So this is a very small font slide, but this just provides a pipeline of activity that is going to happen this current financial year, so starting last week until March next year, but then also into the future. I'm not going to go through every bullet point. As Brett said, you will have that as a slide, but rest assured that there's lots of buildings that will be complete and populated within the next 12 months. The Kingsway, the Pentrowel Zone 1, Pembroke Dock infrastructure, to name a few, but we'll also do things like further pilots and further curriculum development for skills and talent. There'll be the decarbonisation steel project called Switch, which will go through the build, along with the advanced manufacturing production facility down in Bagland Bay. And as I said, every single project has a pipeline of things that are coming through. These are live, these are happening, these will create opportunities for you all here and for partners that you work with. So thank you for listening, and I hope that's given you an insight. And please go and talk to our project teams, or my team, the central team, just after the presentations. Thank you, everyone.